The Haunt release that Justin Beahm spearheaded was incredibly special to Brian and I. And it was coming on the heels of this bare bones release that was done literally with like nothing on the disc, which for Brian and I as cinephiles, like was sorely disappointing. Our entire film school is credited to supplemental features on DVDs and Blu-rays. Growing up in the late 90s and early 2000s, that was the heyday to us of, being able to consume a commentary and understanding every facet of production and artistic inspiration, or watching like a feature-length documentary about a movie like Magnolia, Paul Thomas Anderson's great making of on that disc, was instrumental in just understanding what it's like to truly be a fly on the wall behind the scenes and know like what is a director actually feeling. And so that's why Justin curating this Haunt special feature, this special edition, but also special features in general in his career. We've always really admired his tenacity to make things happen. And so with the Haunt release, it was very, very special. Justin approached us and had this vision of partnering with Ronin Flicks and doing not just like a simple release, but we're going to pack it with special features. We're going to add pins of the masked villains. We're going to have a fold-out poster and map of the actual Haunt, which was taken directly from the archives from our production designer. Like those are all going well above and beyond. It was something that we initially really, really loved about his vision. So when he started putting things together and pitching what the ideas could be, one of the things that he really wanted to do was like a commentary with the monsters, with Cheney Morrow and Damian Maffei and Justin Markson, who played the ghost and the devil and the clown. And we loved the idea of getting their perspective of that experience on the movie. One of the other things that absolutely adored was that Justin wanted to get Tom and Andy's score as like a secondary disc. That score was not available anywhere else, and some of the cues that they've created, they get lost in the mix when you're watching the movie. And so highlighting Tom and Andy's fantastic work was something that we really, really absolutely loved. And one of the longer features on the disc, which is half hour like making of and interviews with the actors and the crew, we really admired how Justin brought that together, because to add some context to when we were doing this release, this was in the height of COVID. And so Justin was able to wrangle, so many people that worked on this film through Zoom interviews, and yet make it very personable and get, real stories from the set, from each of their perspectives. And one of the aspects that was icing on the cake, I think, for Brian and I, is Justin had booked a haunted house for a special shoot to kind of add to the background and the layers of inspiration that we had for the film. And the specific haunted house that he booked was one in our hometown in this area called the Quad Cities. And it was this haunted house that Brian and I went to as teenagers. And it was an abandoned warehouse that they transformed into this makeshift haunted house using these haunt actors that just did it for the love of it, not for a paycheck or anything during Halloween, but they just love it. And they actually kept this house running year round. And we felt so inspired to go back to that place that was like the original inspiration for creating the actual Haunt in the film. And I think, one of the final things that really sticks with us in terms of what Justin created for the Haunt special edition was something that actually didn't even make the disc, which was this mashup of interviews of all of our collaborators, and they spoke directly to the camera, to Brian and I, about their personal experience and what that experience really meant to them. Because certainly for Brian and I, it meant a lot, but on a film shoot, you don't usually get time to be nostalgic. Everybody, hits their rap day and then they disappear, and you sometimes stay in touch and other times you don't, but you don't really post-mortem of the crazy experience that you just went through. But Justin curated these interviews and made a special edit just for Brian and I that he sent to us one day. And it happened to hit on a day that we were going through production on another film. And it was like a very rough patch. We were feeling a little depressed. It was really, really difficult. And getting this video from Justin, this compilation that he sent, was incredibly beautiful. And I highlight this, not for what that experience gave Brian and I, but more so for the type of human being that Justin Beahm is. He gives everything to his collaborators, to his work, and that speaks to him not just as a producer and not as a filmmaker, but simply as a human being who truly respects everything that he adds to all around him.